I've been enjoying Legion Remix, been having a little bit of fun dabbling around in it, playing, at the elite level that I play every version of this game at. But there's an even more elite way to play. That's right. Here's exactly how to win in Legion Remix. You'll save hours using these strategies. Let's see what Bellular has to say about the best way and most efficient way to play through Legion Remix.
Well, credit to Blizzard here, they actually did it. They saved Legion Remix. Ignoring, of course, the unplayable launch day and some severe world lag, it otherwise has been a resounding success. We've got the Heroic World tier kind of revitalizing the love of the game for some people, and for others simply just nuking down Mythic bosses.
I have not done Heroic World tier yet, but I do feel like it's a test for the real game. Like, this could be a thing that they eventually introduce into the modern retail version of the game. It's interesting. It's an interesting system. Frog farming, I believe they nerfed frog farming on reset this week, so that might not be a thing anymore.
In literal seconds is quite doing it. And don't worry, you'll learn how to do that in this video. But for basically everyone, I think the power loop is dangerously addictive. And to top it off, it's us returning to Legion content without the things like legendaries that were frustrating. And it's a reminder of how good we had things back then. Suramar is
Legion
still, I think, WoW's best campaign of all time. And a lot of us were worried that this remix wouldn't be as good as the MOP one. But honestly, I think we were kind of wrong. I think this one's better. But unfortunately, it is still a bit of a crazy side mode, so it is a little bit all over the place. And that means you might find it frustrating if you don't understand how gearing and power works, because it's very different to regular WoW.
There is a lot of shit being looted all at once. I'm not going to... Like, Blizzard needs to freaking create a system or some kind of back-end code where, like, you don't see 4 different tabs of bronze being looted. And this even goes to retail. Like, can't we combine these so we just see, like, one big number for all the bronze I just got, rather than 4 or 15 tabs of bronze just being looted all at once?
So,
it's a bit confusing
advice for you, because we got scarily close to capping out the whole mode's item level after just a few days. So yeah, on this one, trust us. Exploit early, exploit often. It's a phrase for a reason, because some people are way ahead right now. So here's why. There was a major bug in the first 2 days, where Heroic World tier scaled your XP up massively in dungeons without actually making the dungeons any harder. Now, sadly, for some...
some advice for WoW players. If a system is broken early on in like a remix event or something, make sure you exploit the shit out of it. Because it's going to get fixed eventually, and they're not going to retroactively... I mean, they have done it, actually, but they're probably not going to take your shit away as long as it wasn't like a cheat. Like, clearly the game was broken kind of thing. Like, this is more like the scaling was off, right? And that's why people were able to do this so well. But that kind of shit, typically you get to keep what you got. So the people who actually did this stuff, now they're way ahead.
Has been quietly hot-fixed. But there is one thing that
they did. I remember, for MOP Remix, they did retroactively take shit away from people. Wasn't it like the farm or something that people were exploiting, and they eventually took the currency away or something that they gathered up? Yeah, there was retroactive punishment for that stuff. But here, I think people are keeping their shit.
Speed though, and that is efficiency. So now that we don't have bugs to help us, here's what playing Remix looks like and how to make the most of it. Because seriously, it's a pretty insane grind. But if you do it right, you can save hours upon hours upon hours. First up, add-ons. Of course, you'll want to have Plumber installed. It's really nice. You'll get this display for your weapon and some quick switching. It's really good. And then even better is Legion Remix Helper, which essentially automates loads of fiddly things, and it helps you collect everything. And then Handy Notes with the Legion module will help you find rares and treasures. Angrier World Quests is another great option that'll help you once you're level 80. And I'd also recommend BTW Quests and its Legion plugin to help you find some of the trickier side quests. It can be a little bit out of the way. As for class choice then, obviously first up, just play whatever the hell you want. But here's the thing. If you want to be absolutely sure you don't have to reroll for late game nonsense, then play a melee that can tank. Ideally, one that can also...
Yeah, so there is a tanking meta right now in Legion Remix. It was created by me. That's right. I was the first one to do the tanking meta because I showed how elite tanks can be, of course, with my high levels of skill. But Blizzard just released a blue post this morning saying that they're going to buff the shit out of DPS and healers in Phase 2 of Legion Remix because they recognize right now that, there is a tanking meta. So if you don't want to tank, don't worry. It seems like you're about to get a huge buff.
tank, and heal. You see, the damage scaling
Liars.
gets so crazy that 5 tanks is currently the Mythic Plus
teller.
meta, which is a little bit broken. Plus, you won't actually need to heal, but signing up as healer will get you into group finder queues pretty much instantly, which is quite handy. Ultimately then, I think Druid, Paladin, Demon Hunter, and Death Knight are the best choices for a main in this mode if you just want to clear absolutely everything. So,
Nice.
With that in mind and maybe a decision made, let's get started on leveling. Obviously, the first thing you want to do is level, and in true Remix fashion, you can do this any way that you want. Now, the intro gets you into the Infinite Bazaar, and after that, you're essentially free. You can grind dungeons, do quests, or have a bit of a struggle in Heroic World tier. Now, you can also do LFR and normal raids daily from level 20. But there's one definitive way to make this whole thing faster, and that is to complete the campaigns.
The Suramar campaign?
Each campaign that you finish gives you a bonus 10% XP. So just blasting through those quests as fast as you can is essentially the best thing to do. And it's also...
does the Order Hall campaign count as a campaign? Because that's what I was doing right now. I mean, I'll just stop doing that shit if that's the case, that if it doesn't count. And definitely, I'll go do Suramar stuff. I love that stuff. Nope. Okay. So I'm wasting my time. Very nice.
Great idea, because it will also progress you on something that is even more important. That thing is infinite knowledge. A little bit like artifact knowledge back in the day, it increases how much infinite power drops. And of course, with more power, you'll unlock your artifact weapon traits and your late game stat multiplier trait quite a good bit faster. Now, this infinite knowledge comes from one source, and that is achievements. And these are for doing, well, a lot of everything. And a major shout out here to completionism.com. They've made this absolutely wonderful tracker, and that just makes this whole thing extremely easy. And it makes it easy for us to, show you what to do. So here are the ones you can focus on while you're leveling. Completing the campaign and the side quests in a zone will give you 1 in each. Then clearing all available dungeons will grant you 3. Finishing each raid completely is 1 each. Killing 50 empowered enemies in Heroic World tier is another. And my basic recommendation is just do the campaign quests in normal. It's not literally the fastest way to level, but I'd say it's the most efficient way to get XP whilst completing as few quests as possible and getting progress on those achievements.
Got it.
Now, you want to do most quests at level 80, and that's another reason why hitting 80 in a decently efficient manner like that is good. But to explain why, I've actually got to talk about gearing. But a quick note first. Technically, dungeon farming is the best because it will just let you keep every quest up. So you can do all the quests at max level. But in real-time terms,
Is it good only for max level, though? That's because, I'll just start spamming dungeons if that's a great way to do it. But he just said doing the campaigns. So I guess doing the campaigns to get the 10% buffs for each one that you complete and then running dungeons, just spamming the shit out of them, seems like the way to go.
Painfully slow. I wouldn't really recommend it. And getting the bonus XP from the campaigns is, I think, the best mix of fast
Do quests
efficient.
while you queue for
And of course, you'll want
dungeons,
to make sure you check back at the Infinite Bazaar every 10 levels, because every 10 levels, Eternus and Mortari will regularly give you quests, which will get you even more XP gain. That's really important. And with that said, let's talk about gearing.
Yeah, play the game, right? That's the way to do it.
Gear is very different in Legion Remix. Actual armor just has fixed percentages of stats and random secondaries, which I recommend you just completely ignore, because here's what matters the most, right? This is a broken game mode. It's meant to be, so just focus on item level and focus on main stat. Now, jewelry is a little bit more complicated. Necklaces, rings, and trinkets have got random artifact traits on them. Now, item level doesn't matter when you're wearing these things, so basically just put on the effects that your class guide tells you are the best. But do keep the highest item level ones in your bag and don't scrap them, because they will actually still matter. Now, gearing itself comes in 2 stages here. While you level up, you will get up to eye level 584, and you'll be getting gear from the quest reward boxes. These scale up a little bit, so every drop will just creep your item level up over time, and getting as many drops as possible is the key to getting more power. Now, the second stage of things is max level, and that is why you should actually leave side quests until you hit level 80. You see, once you hit item level 584, the actual gear from the boxes stops scaling, and then the only gear that drops at a higher level is raid gear. Now, you can get raid gear from raids, obviously, but you can also get them from these things. These are motes. Now, once you hit level 80, boxes, rares, and bosses will drop bonus motes. And when you can use 10 of these
okay.
motes, you'll get an item that will be slightly better than what you're currently wearing. And that's it. That's quite literally.
So just keep moting everything, keep using the motes, and you'll just eventually keep pushing up your item level.
How you gear. You just farm like crazy, get loads of motes, use them, and watch your item level creep up. And that means the absolute fastest way to gear is to just nuke quests. Because
I was just about to say, it sounds like the summary of this video is quest the shit out of everything. Just do all the quests, constantly be questing. And I guess save some quests for when you hit cap level.
Quest, you'll get tons of boxes.
So play the game, yeah.
Full of motes, and your gear will be very, very shiny indeed. And that's why leaving the side quests up is fairly important. So once you hit level 80, you can just sweep quests for hundreds and hundreds of drops and absolutely blast up your item level. And I'm not kidding when I say this thing almost feels like cheating. Comparatively, dungeons and raids are extremely slow. Now, at the same time, finishing the side quests is great for the lore runner achievements. Of course, those achievements get you infinite knowledge. So basically, you are killing an entire flock of birds with just a single stone. You're getting power, you're getting gear, you're getting knowledge, all the things that you need. And so you understand how those things relate to each other. Gear gives you tons of stats, and then your infinite power will multiply those stats even higher. And by the time you have a few zones done, you will be incredibly strong. Then you can basically do everything else and still gear just a little bit slower. Now, at around item level 620, the scaling starts to get absolutely cracked. At least that's been our experience. So set that as your target, and when you reach there, you should feel pretty insane.
620 item level and above, big dick. That's what he's saying. Got it.
Let's talk about infinite research, because one of the other key things here is Eternus's infinite research. Those quests give
I wonder if he's going to get, I really want to know how to get more bronze. Like, just farm the shit out of bronze, because that's why I'm doing this. I don't give a shit about the alt. I don't care about the gear. I don't even really care that much about the transmog. That's all right. But what I really want is the mounts. I want bronze to get the mounts, so I just want to farm the shit out of bronze. Do you get a lot of bronze from raiding? Yeah, play the game, Sam. Yeah, well, I know. Does Braid give you a lot of bronze when you kill bosses? Because that's what I got to start doing.
A ton of bronze and some extra XP gain. So here's the most time-efficient thing that you can do at really any given time in Legion Remix. Check in with Eternus, pick any research, and then finish it until she stops giving you options. And that will happen once this bar is filled. Now, we're not exactly sure if this is working as intended.
Bronze drops from everything. Just play, get armor. Yeah, that's true. If you keep getting armor, you'll keep scrapping the shit you were previously wearing and getting more bronze. Yeah, that makes sense.
But it's basically a daily refresh that stacks up to a week. So there's a lot to do, but the good news is there's no real crazy rush there. Now, you can tell Eternus which research that you want to focus on, and you can re-roll that once a day, but the system does push you into doing lots of different types of content. But thankfully, it's all pretty quick and painless, and my personal tip would be pick the Group Finder dungeons or world content ones, because they're really the fastest. And then once you're level 80, she'll ask you to do 20 of these things, and you'll have almost 1,000,000 infinite power. Almost 1,000,000!
Damn.
It's a hell of a lot. And once that's done, you'll get this absolutely gorgeous looking transmog. And with you completely set up, well, now it's time to knock out achievements. So, if you're a big metagamer, then you'll truly be free once you're strong and once Eternus's bar is full. And when that's done, your next goal should be to get as much infinite knowledge as is possible. And the best thing to do is to go to Completionism's page, to toggle on the knowledge options, and quite simply to just progress all of them. And be especially careful, by the way, of the world quests and the world bosses, because those things will actually take a little bit of time. Now, this knowledge investment is key, because investing in knowledge will make everything go even faster.
Knowledge is power. Yep, it goes back to that. Again, play the game. Right?
But you won't be able to finish it all at once because there is a phased release schedule where every 2 weeks there's going to be a new area, new campaign, new dungeon, and a new raid to do for knowledge. So, in the meantime, you'll just want to clear out the current phase's set of achievements. And in fact, Legion Remix is designed so that chasing achievements will naturally give you the most rewards. And of course, by doing all of this, you'll be utterly drowning in bronze and you'll be able to laugh.
When does Remix end? Doesn't it end in December or something? I thought that we had that date, didn't we? Maybe I'm tripping.
up loads of rewards. So my genuine recommendation is to look over Completionism's list, find the rewards you want, and just focus on those achievements.
Or is it February?
And with that said,
I don't even
that's
remember.
the major game flow out of the way. So with that said, it's now time to talk about some specific little tips and a few other things as well.
Yeah, I think there's a timer in the game that tells you how many days are left.
Dungeons and raids then. Okay, mythic dungeons and even raids will fall effortlessly to full groups here. You won't even have to learn a single mechanic to hop into whatever content you want to do. And they're all on a daily lockout as well, and, well, they're pretty rewarding for how quick they are. Do them at least once for the achievements, but after that, just do them whenever you feel like it. The only unique reason to farm them, of course...
Legion Remix ends on January 19th, so there you go. January 19th, the first phase, October 7th, Broken Isles, October 21st, Return to Karazhan, November 4th, Broken Shore, November 18th, Argus, and then December 9th, final phase, Infinite Echoes. That's when shit just pops off at the very end.
This is for the rare transmogs. For example, you'll need 20 horns
the whole thing ends on January 19th.
For the Xavius shoulders. They really are cool shoulders. You get 1 horn on normal, 4 on heroic, and 10 on mythic, so keep that in mind if you want to get those.
So later, February midnight? Of course February midnight. February 24th. I already told you guys this. I already know when midnight's dropping. I predicted it a long time ago.
Then you'll also
early
be
access probably be a little bit earlier
Hammer,
than that too.
Teshelact, and the Argus Scythe. So pretty much some of the coolest looking mogs in the game. Next then, let's talk Mythic Plus. Okay, Mythic Plus is genuinely weird here. You'll want to do at least a +7 right away because that's going to get you some more infinite knowledge. And really, that is just a cakewalk if you're with a group of eye-level 620 plus players. Now, you'll need a Mythic +30, yes, you heard me right, +30, if you want to unlock the fiery version of the new transmog, and a +40 if you want to get the infernal title. We tried a few of these, and honestly, it just was not worth the time. The gear was weak and the other drops felt like it was kind of nothing for the time invested. So basically, just wait until the last phase until you do those things where you'll be even more powerful, unless you just love Mythic Plus and, you know, want to hurt yourself. Okay, in Mop Remix, there were the legendary frogs that people would just farm into oblivion for the first few days.
I see you guys talking about a graphic in the chat. Are you talking about this graphic? So I was right. These are my predictions, and I was right about October 7th for Legion Remix. I was a little bit late on the early access to housing, actually. It looks like 11.2.7 is going to hit, is it a week earlier than I expected here? December 2nd, about 2 weeks earlier than I thought. Now, we didn't get like the official, 11.2.7's hitting that date, but we got that early housing access is going to hit that date. So it seems like that's the date for the patch as well. But I still feel like February 24th, book it. That's the day. That's going to be your midnight. That's going to happen, guys. Yeah, what a wonderful graphic this is. Who made that? Fantastic.
It becomes stupidly powerful. Now, there are no frogs in Legion Remix. There's no frog farm. But there is something that is sort of close. If you really just want to farm mobs completely mindlessly, then the Murlocs over here in Ashara will be the place to do that.
Oh God,
and better yet,
Murlocs.
flick on Heroic World Tier and kill them with that turned on. They're easy to kill, they drop plenty of items, and you'll get the Legion Slayer achievement in just about no time.
Nice.
Just do make sure you're actually strong enough first. And speaking of Heroic World Tier, let's talk about that.
This is an interesting mode.
With huge gear, Heroic World Tier will really not feel that heroic at all. Once you finish nuking all the campaign and the side quests, I would just turn it on and keep it on. You'll get some more rewards. It will slow you down a bit, but honestly, I think it's well worth it. Every world quest on Heroic counts toward an achievement and drops an upgraded box, and mobs quite simply drop more of everything. That being said,
there's one thing that I don't like about Heroic World Tier, and that's if people do it and it phases you into a different version of the world, and they bring it into retail, I feel like it'll make the already feeling empty, kind of super sharded world feel even more empty. And I feel like it's not a good thing in an MMO for the world to feel empty. One of my favorite things is when world events are going on, there's like just tons of people in a single zone all at once. I love that stuff. And so if this world tier system, I haven't tried it yet in Legion Remix, but if it phases you where somebody who's not in the heroic world tier can't see you, then I feel like that's not a good thing. Super sharded, yes.
If you want to play a really compelling version of World of Warcraft,
it does phase you. Yeah, then I think it's bad.
World tier turned on. It's absolutely not the fastest way to do it, but people are reporting having a really good time having to carefully pull mobs and, fight the old-fashioned way.
See, the new prey system that's coming in Midnight, I don't know if that phases you. That might be different, but because that's just bringing up like an extra mob that randomly attacks you. But that might phase you too. I just think over phasing in an MMO is a bad thing because it makes the game feel more empty.
Of course, not balanced.
It does phase you. Yeah, see, I don't think it's a good thing.
Of the bonus XP, but it can be a whole load of fun. It's not a highlight of the mode's design, but it is maybe the most important thing Blizzard can learn here for the real World of Warcraft. That it seems people really do yearn for a more classic-like world experience, and I think the heroic world tier and leveling actually shows some serious promise. But okay, we've talked about a lot of things. There's one thing we haven't talked about, and that is your alts.
Ooh.
The last thing then is alts, and this one is a little bit awkward. So your XP gain and infinite knowledge are account-wide,
right,
but alts actually start fresh power-wise. And basically, if you don't really want a raft of new alts for Midnight, I wouldn't actually bother with them. Now, it's true that there are the new class mount colors that come from leveling them up to 80, but you can just buy them for a pittance of bronze instead. I'd rather, do the bronze than level up a whole alt. So, alts are entirely optional in this mode. Don't feel like there's any pressure to actually go and do it on every different character. Getting one character fully geared is going to take long enough anyway.
I'm not gonna do alts. I just can't. I can't do this. I can't be bothered to do it too many times over and over.
But with that character fully geared, you'll be able to earn so much bronze that you can pick up all of the rewards. I hope that's all helped you out. And you know what? I have not seen some of my guild members this addicted to World of Warcraft in a long ass time. I think it does kind of go to show that Blizzard can still make some digital crack when they want to.
Yeah, I think the remix events have proven to be a good thing for the game, no doubt. I feel like a lot of people come back to play these remix events, the gear and everything that they offer, the mounts. It's a good way to kind of in these in between phases where we got a new raid, but it's been there for a little while. New season's been there for a little while. This is a good way to keep people subbed, keep people playing.
Legion Remix is kind of close to a full season of WoW in terms of content, especially for newer players who didn't play the Legion stuff when it originally came out. And I think with this leading people back to WoW ahead of Midnight,
what's up,
we may be heading to a little bit of a golden age. I mean, especially with the insanely promising gearing changes that are coming in for Midnight. Because one of the things newer players always struggled with is just, what the hell do I do? What's up with this gear? Why is a spark fractured? What does that mean? What is a runed crest? What's a carved crest? Are the runes better than carved? All these things that confuse newer players. Well, the good news is, Blizzard have fixed all that, and you can learn about it in this video next.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did, and it's a much better system. Overall, cool. I think Legion Remix, like I said, been a great event, fun event to play through so far. And good for just kind of passing the time, doing some shit, having some fun, and getting some cool mounts and transmog while you're at it. Nice video here from Bellular.